Hello, welcome to Nigeria Now. Thank you for joining us again on the program where we will be looking at some of the stories that have been trending. And it is important that you join us live on Facebook and on YouTube. So we would love to hear what your views are concerning any of the story, the issues, and then it's really interesting. So just keep tight as we take you down through the stories and events unfolding. I am Sela Elashadashim, and now we're both doing the program together with Rachel Tansey. Good afternoon, Rachel.
Afternoon, Sarah.
All right, without any waste of time, we'll dive straight into the issue we will be discussing today. And we have to revisit what happened yesterday again, Rachel. Quite a number of reactions are coming. We will record that yesterday that tribunal, or actually the Supreme Court, affirmed the victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu again.
Yes.
We will record that February 25th after the election. INEC said that the APC candidate won in the appeal court again. They also said the fact that the APC candidate won, and then the Supreme Court reaffirmed the fact again that yes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the winner. And ever since the announcement of that result and all the judgment, quite a number of reactions have been coming in from the Labour Party, from the PDP. Buhari also said that this really shows that Nigerians believe in their government. We're seeing a number of people are coming out. In fact, even lawyers are coming out to give their own reaction or their own interpretation of what the court meant when it said that it kicked out some of those, would I say, fresh evidence that the PDP submitted as being lack of merit. And a lot of people are asking, when you say something lacks merit, what does it mean? And quite a number of reactions coming, and Nigerians as well are having theirs. I mean, if you go to social media, you will be surprised to see the number of comments that are trooping in to say the fact that Nigerians feel that some people are happy, some people are not happy. But I think at this point, Richard, I just want us to look at the lessons we can pick from it, because a number of things have been said already. So whatever we are going to see is not going to be far-fetched from what people have already said. But then I think it's important that we pick some of the lessons we can pick. And then because we are having barely about 16 days or so to the off-season election that will be taking place in the other three states. So whatever lessons we'll be able to pick now will go a long way to determine how the election that will be conducted in these three states will take place.
You know, Stella, when the Supreme Court or any court says it lacks merit, it just means it lacks substantial evidence or proof or fact. It's just like you coming to see and the certificate don't have in honor of, and they have a certificate that they have a point to prove that says in the school if you can't graduate with an honor or without an honor, so it doesn't matter. The certificates can come with honor or without honor. At the bottom they can say a logo is not showing, and the counter proof was they didn't photocopy it properly and all of that. So when you look at certain things, it's understood if the court says it lacks merit or it just means no enough evidence or anything substantial. It might be an evidence, but it doesn't hold weight as it should, and therefore cannot be considered. But I mean, the court has stood its ground on every level, and it just the lessons there I keep saying is that the judiciary are trying to tell us that the Nigerian law is the same at whatever level. That is, what judges will think at this level will be the same way at another level, except if you're bringing something completely different and substantial with merit. If not, if it's the same thing, you're just taken to the next level, certain things don't change and then they remain. But then we're going to talk about the statement from people like left, right, center, what people are saying. I believe for the PDP, they should have been just silent and go on with their life, because we all clearly remembered Atiku saying that whatever the Supreme Court says, it is final and he rests his case there. Of course, there's no any other court he can take it to, because I do have a feeling that if there was another court above the Supreme Court, we would be seeing the PDP and Atiku going there. But then thank God the Supreme Court is the final or the last bus stop when it comes to these tribunals, and then they have given their verdict. There's no point saying being disappointed, because trust me, if you were the one being ruled as the winner, there are other people too who will be disappointed and say the Supreme Court had failed them. And then the other statement coming from the Labour Party saying that the Supreme Court destroyed fabric of our democracy. To be honest, I feel it's INEC that did that, Sele. We can point these fingers to the Supreme Court and then all goes back to INEC again, because we had a collation, and any observation that came up, we had the INEC chairman saying, take it to court. You don't fail people to that extent and just direct them elsewhere. Whether we like it or not, we will see such outcome, because why are we having elections in the first place if we end up in court? INEC have already defeated democracy by letting Nigerians go to court, because you are with the responsibility to hold a free, fair, transparent election. You are the commission with that power. It's not the judiciary to determine who is the president of Nigeria, who is the governor of this state, who is the senator for this constituency. It's not the judiciary's job. But when you as INEC refuse to give the people a transparent election that will raise questions, then you now give the court the place which they don't even supposed to have in the first place. So let's be sincere where the failure started from. And we're not saying INEC is perfect or anything, but that is the beginning of our problem, because I keep saying it, if this election went as how INEC promised Nigerians, and Nigerians were satisfied with INEC, we won't have this back and forth. If Tinubu emerged the winner with a transparent election as Nigerians saw it, even if it is not the majority for people, we will be able to accept it and then move forward. So I just hope that INEC does better in the upcoming election. And then, yes, just as the president said, it's time for us to just put our heads together and build Nigeria. Enough is enough. We are tired of the tribunal. We are tired of the court. We are tired of politics being top priority in Nigeria when governance is lacking, and we need to move forward.
You know, Richard, you really hit a lot, like you really made key points. And I think it's the lessons for me. You make mention the fact that if there's anybody that fingers are supposed to be pointing to, it's INEC. And I think it's high time we strengthen that institution, because over the years we've heard people say, maybe let us, especially in regard to this judgment from the Supreme Court, a lot of people are saying maybe we need to amend our constitution, maybe we need to amend the Electoral Act. But I tell you something, Rachel, for sure, it's the fact that there is nothing wrong with our constitution. There's nothing wrong with our Electoral Act. Rather, there is something wrong with the people who are supposed to uphold these constitutions and this law, because it's clear there's nothing that is so complicated in this law that we just tend to make simple things look complicated or complex and make it look as if Nigerians really do not understand what all of this thing is. So I think it's high time we strengthen this institution and also strengthen our democracy, because believe you me, Rachel, we cannot talk about a democratic nation without elections. Because it is paramount that we have elections to show that yes, the will of the people is actually leading. And just like you said, INEC need to sit down and jot down certain things it needs to rectify, because believe you me, if you ask me, I think INEC owe Nigerians an apology for what happened. A lot of people ask the question, how comes that the IREF was working perfectly for every order of the election, but then something went wrong for the presidential election? What went wrong? That is to say, somehow Nigerians will be tempted to say there was a malpractice there. And just like you said, if everything went clear, if INEC was transparent, then I mean Nigerians will not really have an issue with whatever is happening presently. But I just believe that, just like we've said, a lot of questions for INEC. A lot of people are asking that they need to audit INEC. I mean, the amount of money that was given to INEC, and yet INEC did not do 100% job. Then INEC need to audit all their resources that was given to them. Tell us what you did with all of this money. Tell us what you actually did. I need to re-emphasize this, because Nigerians right now are feeling cheated. Because it's more like the court determined who became our president. Nigerians did not do anything about it. So just like I said, there's little or nothing we can say that others have not said already, but we are just trying to re-echo our voice, so that next time we'll have a institution that will come out and know that Nigerians know what all these laws are saying, and we are hoping that you uphold the law just the way it is. Now, still looking at the issue of, because it's a political era right now, Rachel. So we
Yeah.
need to really look at politics into as deep as it is. We're saying that we are going to be having offshore election again, and INEC today came out stating the fact that the media need to build a wall against fake news, because it make mention that during the February, March election, a lot of fake news was going around, a lot of things that were not true. The media was circulating things that were not right. And so INEC is actually calling on the media, because you will be working together with the election. About 93 or so of media practitioners will be present there. So going to about over 1,000 polling. So
Yeah.
they need everything to be done transparent. But then we're talking about transparency. It's not going to be far-fetched from what we've said concerning the fact that INEC owe Nigerians a lot. If you say that you want to conduct an election, then you know that one thing that a lot of Nigerians are looking forward to, Richard, is the fact that we are looking for an institution that is transparent, an institution that is accountable,
Sure.
and an institution that hold integrity to the core. And I think INEC owe Nigerians that. Yes, of course, we're talking about media. Media is the watchdog of the society. So whatever you say is what the entire nation eventually
Yeah.
will believe. I mean, in other developed countries, Rachel, announcing of result, INEC have nothing to do with that. It is the responsibility of the media to tell you, okay, this is the winner of the election. And you know that the media cannot lie, because the media followed everything. And for journalism, we have ethics we stand for, standing for the truth. And when we know the truth, we protect the truth and let Nigerians know that that is the truth for it. But I think that a lot of things are going on, especially with this offshore election. We're seeing pockets of violence left, right, and center. And a lot of people attempted not to even turn out. Because even looking at what happened during the presidential election, it looks like maybe whatever the voters are coming out to do, they have loose confidence in INEC as it looks presently. So I just want to have your own take about what INEC is saying to the media, and how eventually the media and INEC have to work together.
So like misinformation, fake news, speculation is all part of media, because the media is for everybody. And it is for everybody, and that is why we have speculation. We sometimes have misinformation, and then we have fake news. Now, speculations unattended to is what often result into fake news. And this is where, when we talk about transparency and accountability, comes in. If a speculation starts going out there, and people are speculating that INEC could be doing this, or INEC could be doing that. Now, these same people who are speculating are using the media. Now, it's left for the person that the speculation, or the body, or whosoever this wrong speculation or right speculation is going on about, to come out and clear the air, because the media is for everybody. If we're speculating that INEC did this, INEC did that, INEC did this, and INEC is sitting down and not doing anything about it, you also, as the body that is being speculated about, is giving room for this fake news, because you also have the media to come out and clear the air, to say this is not true, this is true, that is true, this, because nobody has the monopoly of the media. We have anybody. I can be a media myself. On my social media space, I can speculate anything, and before I know it, it becomes fake news. Anybody can sit down and think of anything and put it out there. And then how do we now get the real news? How do we fight it? It's not only for media, but it's also for the people involved in this news that are fake to come out and talk. Then it's left for you, an intelligent Nigerian, to know which to take seriously. Now, in the end, it doesn't matter if you feel the speculation is right, because it's just a theory. Now, you, as long as you don't have a proof, if INEC should come out and tell you that you are speculating we use 60 million, but no, it is 50 million that the federal government gave us, and we use 45 million and we still have 5 million left, then you make use of that information, because that is what INEC has given you, regardless of what theory you think you have. As long as you don't have any proof, as an intelligent person, that is 60 million INEC have and not 50 million, and they've used 70 million and there's nothing left, you make use of the information that this body have made available to you. So when it comes to fighting fake news, we can spread this all along, not only to INEC, but to anybody that maybe in the past have found themselves in a situation where there's so much fake news about certain things. The media is for everybody. That's why you can come out and say, okay, this thing was being said about me, this is the truth about it. That was being said, this is the truth about it. And then we move. Then it's left for you and I to be intelligent, to know which information you are going to take and make use of, and which information you are going to keep. But as long as the media goes on, I mean, fake news is for everybody to fight, and it won't stop, because there are a lot of people that are making a living out of the buzz. Now, of course, there are rules and regulations to fight such things, and there are bodies put in place for that. But then it's a collaborative effort when it comes to fighting fake news.
You know, Richard, I don't want to give a reason why we have misinformation and then facts that are, or news that are not facts, flying all around. It's the fact that INEC needs to make themselves available to give out the right information, because once there's absence of an information, definitely somebody somewhere will tend to fill up that space with something else that is not true. And we have said that free media is oxygen of a democracy, because where you see that media are free to actually express the real truth out there, you tend to see that it shows that truly a nation is practicing democracy. So what am I saying? That INEC should make itself available to make sure that, like, let's give for instance, when we had the issue of when a lot of people were looking up to the RF to make sure that the results were being uploaded, the media was following in real time, making sure that as it drops, you let the viewers and everybody at home know that this is what is happening. But all of a sudden there was nothing going on, and a lot of news started speculating. It took INEC a little time before it announced to say that we are going through some technical hitches, and that was why that was there. So imagine if immediately it wasn't working, INEC actually said the fact that this is what we're going through before fake news started flying around. I believe that to some extent it will have block all of those loopholes that were actually giving room to all of those news that are flying around. So in as much as we know that for any media body, it knows that there is ethics that that profession holds dearly to. So it is important that for every media organization that will be present during the offshore election, make sure that whatever news you're giving, whatever report you're giving, must be factual. Work with the facts that are on the ground. And because whenever we have fake news flying around, it gives room to either violence, give room to some we see people talking about politics and then religion, and then before you know, there's chaos. Already as it is in Imo State and other of those states, we're having it seems as if we're sitting on a gunpowder. But we hope that with all of these things, there will be a synergy with INEC. INEC have promised that it's going to be transparent, and believe you me, it will take INEC a lot of time to convince Nigerians that they are willing to be transparent, they are willing to be accountable, because believe you me, Nigerians are disappointed, really disappointed. So we're looking forward to the fact that INEC knows what it has signed up for, so it should please stand by the truth. And also to all the media practitioners that will be present, organizations that will be present, should try its best to report the news as it is. Be factual, because it is important. Where facts are absent, we begin to see that people speculate. And I keep saying that if you want to know the real news, it's not social media, is not where you go to. Believe you me, we have a lot of people who are licensed journalists by themselves on social media that will tell you what they know your itching ears want to hear. So go to the right channels, go to the right places, you will get the real news as it is. And I think that it's important. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, hoping that our media body will do their work, hoping that INEC will also do its work, and then we'll begin to see that everything will work as it should be. Well, Richard, I think we should just draw the curtain at this moment. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome, Sally.
And thank you to our viewers and also to our supporters for keeping it with us on Nigeria Now. Until again we come your way, do have a blessed weekend ahead.